Long ago, in a village cradled by misty hills and ancient forests, there lived a girl named Amara. She was the first daughter of the village chief, known for her courage but also her tender heart. On the morning of her 16th birthday, the village elders called her to the council hut. "The river beyond the silverwood forest has awakened," the eldest said. "It flows only for first daughters. Fetch water from it, for our village cannot survive without it." Amara's heart thumped. The river was fabled, not merely a river, but a living force, protective and dangerous, and it took first daughters who dared enter unworthy or afraid. The villagers watched silently, whispering old warnings. Many have tried. Many never returned. But the river chooses. It tests. And only the brave survive. Amara's mother pressed a charm into her hand, a tiny carved bird, said to guide the bearer when lost. Amara clutched it tightly as the sun rose, painting the sky gold. The path to the river was not marked by signs, only by whispers of wine through the silverwood. As Amara walked, she passed trees older than the village itself. Some branches seemed to move, as if watching her. She heard voices, some singing, some crying, but she remembered her mother's words, "Trust your heart, Amara. Fear is what the river feeds on." Soon, she encountered the first challenge, a chasm that stretched wider than any she had ever seen. A narrow, invisible bridge shimmered in the air. She stepped carefully, remembering every step she had taken in life. Halfway across, the wind howled, and shadows threatened to push her off. Amara whispered to the bird charm, "Guide me." And though no sound answered, the charm warmed her hand and steadied her steps. Deep in the silverwood, Amara met the spirits of children who had tried before. Some were playful, some sorrowful. They offered riddles, teasing and warning her. "What is the weight of courage?" one asked, flitting like a moth around her hair. "Is bravery the same as fearlessness?" asked another, its eyes like glowing embers. Amara pondered. She realized courage was not the absence of fear, it was walking forward despite it. She answered carefully, and one by one, the spirits nodded and let her pass, leaving gifts, a feather, a silver leaf, and a small vial of light that would guide her in darkness. Eventually, Amara reached Mirror Lake, where the water reflected not only the sky but also one's deepest thoughts and regrets. The lake whispered her name, "Amara, do you fear what you see?" She looked into the water and saw herself as she was, and as she feared she might become, timid, ignored, overshadowed. For a long hour, she sat at the edge, crying silently. Then she remembered why she had come, to save her village, to honor her mother's trust, to face whatever the river demanded. She reached into the lake. The water was cold and pure, and when she drew it, the reflection smiled back. Not the girl she feared she was, but the girl she truly had become, brave, wise, and determined. At last, beyond the lake, she found the river. It was more alive than she could have imagined. Its waters glowed with a pale silver light, and it spoke without words, vibrating in her chest. "Why do you come, first daughter?" the river seemed to ask. Amara knelt. "To save my village. To honor my family. To prove I am worthy." The river swirled violently, testing her resolve. Images of failure, despair, and temptation flashed before her. Riches, power, the chance to return home without completing the task. Amara kept her focus, whispering encouragements to herself. The river then sent forth a trial of fire and wind. She had to navigate stepping stones that burned her fingers if she faltered, and gusts that nearly knocked her into the depths. But each time she remembered the feather, the silver leaf, and the vial of light, tokens from the spirits. They guided her steps, reminding her that courage was built through persistence, not magic. At the heart of the river, a figure rose from the waters, the guardian, a tall, luminous being with eyes like molten silver. "Many first daughters have come," the guardian said, "but only a few have reached me." "Why should I let you take the water?" Amara bowed. "Because I do not seek it for myself. I do not seek glory. I seek only to serve." The guardian studied her, then presented her with the final trial, a vision of the village consumed by drought, twisting her heart with fear. She was told she could leave and return safely, or take the water and risk losing herself. Amara chose the water. As she reached forward, the guardian's hand touched hers. She felt every first daughter before her, their courage, their hope, their fears, flow into her. The river accepted her, and she filled her vessel. The journey back was no less treacherous. The spirits of the forest tested her again, asking if she had learned from her trials. Amara answered with wisdom gained, patience, kindness, and courage. She crossed Mirror Lake once more, seeing the reflection of a strong girl, tempered by experience. She returned over the invisible bridge, and the winds no longer threatened her. When she stepped into the village, the elders gasped. She carried water that shimmered like liquid silver. Crops revived, the animals drank, and the people rejoiced. Amara became a legend, not because she was the first daughter to survive the river, but because she had faced fear, temptation, and doubt with heart and courage. The river never chose her lightly, but it chose wisely, and from that day forward, every first daughter who approached the river knew this truth: it does not take you because you are the firstborn. It tests you because you are brave enough to carry the world on your shoulders. The river flowed on, silently, always waiting for the next heart bold enough to answer its call.